Alright, we have a lot of work to do, folks. It always sucks to lose an election, but I will be damned if we're going to sit idly by and watch as liberalism is eroded throughout the country and throughout the world without leveraging the platform that we've built to fight back against the fire hose of disinformation, because there will be a lot of disinformation. That's what won Donald Trump the election, and now that Elon Musk has Donald Trump's ear and Trump has Elon Musk's ear, I can guarantee you they will be leveraging the platform of X to manipulate the American people over the next 4 years, and we will break that down throughout this video. The broader point is, we have a lot of work to do, and we cannot give up this battle. Yes, it's a setback. Yes, it's always painful to lose when you put in a lot of work. And yes, Donald Trump is a danger to the very fundamentals of America, but we can keep pushing back. We can leverage the guardrails that we have. And what else are we going to do other than correct the disinformation? Am I going to go crawl in a corner and cry and just let Donald Trump take over? That's what they want. That is what authoritarians want. So let's push back against what's been going on over the past few days. And let me lay out a clear vision for how we can succeed and even thrive throughout a Trump administration, even though it will be hard. Of course, I'm just trying to calm the nerves. So let's start off with this map right here. This shows the shift across counties in the United States, and it is not pretty. It is indicative of the Democratic Party messing up badly, and we need to take a massive populist shift. I'll explain that in 1 second, but a massive populist shift needs to happen within the Democratic Party if we want to win. We can see right here that the Deep South went largely to the right. You see some small blue portions near Georgia, but even Appalachia went to the right. The Mid-Atlantic, the South Atlantic, every single area moved to the right in the United States, whether it's the Midwest or up here in the Deep North, they moved to the right. Over here, I guess we escaped narrowly. Over here, there's not a lot of people living, but I don't even think this was a rejection of Kamala Harris as a candidate. I think it's as simple as inflation. I saw someone say that Donald Trump was doomed to lose the 2020 election due to COVID, but that kind of curled the monkey paw, because 4 years later, whoever was in office, whoever the incumbent was going to lose no matter what, and Kamala Harris was very closely tied to the Biden administration. Incumbents across the globe have been losing, and the Democratic Party is going to have to change its tone. For a look at what that could be like, Bernie Sanders released this today, where he sums it up pretty well. Sanders' statement on the results of the 2024 presidential run. Senator Bernie Sanders released the following statement: "It should come as no great surprise that a Democratic Party which has abandoned working class people would find that the working class has abandoned them. First, it was the white working class. Now it is Latino and black workers as well, while the Democratic leadership defends the status quo. The American people are angry and want change, and they're right. Today, while the very rich are doing phenomenally well, 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and we have more income and wealth inequality than ever before. Unbelievably real. Inflation accounted for weekly wages for the average American worker are actually lower than they were 50 years ago. In the next slide, he says, "Today, despite an explosion in technology and worker productivity, many young men will have a worse standard of living than their parents. And many of them worry that AI and robotics will make a bad situation even worse." Now, some of this I do disagree with. I think broadly young men across the country do have a decent living standard, but things are more expensive. Today, despite spending far more per capita than other countries, we remain the only wealthy nation not to guarantee healthcare to all as a human right and pay, by far, the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. True. We alone, among major countries, cannot even guarantee paid family and medical leave. And the thing is, President Biden is easing a lot of this, but this goes back to what I was saying. We need to actually embrace this more populist rhetoric. I'm going to go back to this in 1 second, but this reply is pretty good. It explains: 1. Unions are the strongest they've been in decades. 2. Wages among the lowest earners grew the fastest. 3. The child tax credit was expanded. 4. A minimum corporate tax was enacted. 5. A tax on stock buybacks was enacted. High inflation was brought down. The list goes on and on and on, but the Democratic rhetoric didn't reach out to voters. And if you don't believe me, if you're going to say, "Adam, you're wrong," just look at this. Obviously, our messaging did not reach out to voters. So my broad point here is that we need to embrace this populist messaging that Bernie Sanders is embracing so well. The most widely accepted definition of populism is basically making the difference between yourself and the elites and saying that you are for the people, the elites are not. Two people that do this very well are Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. Donald Trump claims he is not the elite. He is just one of us. He is an outsider who's coming in to shake things up. Bernie Sanders says the exact same thing. Bernie Sanders is a populist, and it's not a bad thing. We need to embrace the messaging of Democratic politicians not being part of the government or the establishment. But again, while we learned from this mistake, I don't think it's the fault of Kamala Harris. She ran a near perfect campaign. She probably could have done some more interviews in the podcast sphere, maybe, but I think any candidate would have lost due to the circumstances of inflation that happened under the Biden administration. Now, I do want to show you this article that reads, corn, soybeans tumble on trade war fears. Trump election raises prospect of another China dispute, and the futures for corn and soybeans are dropping. Soybeans sank 18 to 20 cents after Donald Trump's election reignited fears of another trade war that could harm the U.S. agricultural landscape. Corn futures dropped 2 to 4 cents, and wheat futures tumbled 6 to 10 cents as the U.S. dollar strengthened sharply. What we're watching, Trump's victory in Tuesday's presidential election is likely to fuel concerns that U.S. farmers, already grappling with a sharp income drop due to the slumping crop prices, may suffer further if a new president ramps up tariffs on China. Trump has vowed to impose a 60% tariff on Chinese goods with at least a 10% levy on all other imports. That stirred fears that any trade war with China could be worse than the one that happened in 2018 to 2019. And I'm not going to lie, the only thing I find more annoying than MAGA celebrating, the only thing I find more annoying than Donald Trump returning to the White House is the fact that he is going to immediately take credit for the economy that Biden built. Again, Biden passed the IRA, the bipartisan infrastructure deal, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, all of these things that will help America for a decade. And the way that it works on a delay. So Donald Trump will come in and be able to immediately claim the economy is doing well, and I guarantee perceptions of the economy will increase because we have Elon Musk owning Twitter and boosting signals that the economy is doing better. I think that there is a very real chance that Elon Musk, over the next 4 years, will leverage Twitter to try to manipulate the American people as he already has, and in thinking that Donald Trump's presidency is going perfectly, no matter the trade wars that we get into, no matter how much land is ceded to Putin. And by the way, I think that Putin and Netanyahu will stop their wars, will pause their wars very conveniently, which is possible. Putin paused Crimea in 2014, then reignited down the road. What I think Vladimir Putin will do is pause the war in Ukraine and say, Trump negotiated a peace deal. It was great. And then the next time a Democrat wins, Putin will immediately relaunch that invasion. And then people will be able to say, hey, the Democrats caused war. That's honestly the better case scenario. The worst case scenario is that Ukraine is immediately given up to Vladimir Putin. It is something that very well could happen. Now, I also want to show you this article. Elon Musk bet big on Trump. Here's what he has to gain. No single business leader did more to support Donald Trump than Elon Musk. Musk donated nearly $119 million so far to a political action committee he set up to support Trump. He canvassed himself. He set up a headquarters in Pennsylvania. He was at rallies giving awkward speeches. And the thing is, $119 million sounds like a lot. Objectively, it is a lot of money. But the return that Elon Musk will see for having the ear of Donald Trump and for helping him win will far outweigh $119 million. This is a small price for Elon Musk to pay for the power that he just grabbed. And again, I know that a lot of people are disillusioned and they want to check out, and I think that's totally fine. If you want to take 1 day off, 2 days off, the next 2 weeks off, if you want to take the next 5 months off or a year off, I don't care. But at some point, we have to come back and we have to continue battling this disinformation. I'll always be here. I know MeidasTouch will always be here, along with a lot of other creators, to push back on this type of disinformation. What a Trump win means for Tesla. Musk posted numerous tweets on his social media platform X late Tuesday and early Wednesday morning celebrating Trump's victory. He said, "The people of America gave Donald Trump a crystal clear mandate for change." Yikes. Trump has been openly hostile to electric vehicles, but he said one time that he has to support them because Elon Musk supported him. Many industry experts believe Trump will end some of these programs. The programs that under Biden had created significant government support for building and buying electric vehicles, including billions of dollars in loans. Now, people think that Trump could end that, but Musk has said he's not worried about the end of that tax credit. And it's funny because Trump's China policy could even hurt Tesla. The bigger problem for Tesla with Trump's win is that there could be a renewed trade war with China, said Ives, as we were just talking about, given the importance of his plant in Shanghai to its global sales and profits. With Trump's victory, he'll be much harsher on China, they say, and then that could cause a massive problem for Tesla. But even beyond that, Elon Musk took a massive win last night, and that is probably the worst part of this all. Elon Musk will have this power. He owns this platform, and we have an uphill battle. I can't tell who took a bigger win last night, Elon Musk or Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin can now manipulate Twitter through Elon Musk as a proxy, and it'll be just a part of the Trump administration. Matt Walsh tweeted out this morning, now that the election is over, I think we can finally say that, yeah, actually Project 2025 is the agenda. They're saying the quiet part out loud. Someone said, haha, we're liars, is an interesting approach. And it's like, yeah, no shit, you guys were going to enact Project 2025. Page 1 of Project 2025 says that Donald Trump needs to enact a Schedule F executive order, which he enacted his first term and Biden had to repeal. The Schedule F executive order said that Donald Trump could fill our institutions with loyalists, hire and fire people not based on merit, not based on skill, but based on how loyal they are to him. And the Heritage Foundation has been creating and training people to fill a second Trump administration. It is some scary stuff. And I do want to say one more time, check out for however long you need. I definitely had to chill out today and just watch some movies and unplug after this long election cycle, but I do think it is worth it to revisit this community at some point and really hit it hard. Build everything back better. Now, there is a classic authoritarian tactic of throwing so much stuff at the wall that you can't keep up and you exhaust your enemy. And I can't lie, I know many of you are exhausted. I was pretty tired last night after everything went down, but today I'm feeling better, and today I realized they are going to try to gaslight us relentlessly over the next 4 years. So my message to you is please do not let Maga gaslight you. And if you made it this far in the video, drop some blue hearts for me. Say hi, Adam. Subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.